Thank you, Mr. Deputy President. In the interest of time and our health, I will attempt to be very brief with my rebuttal, as we have two other bills, but just for first reading. Mr. Deputy President, first of all, I want to be very clear on a statement that was made earlier and to ensure that the records will reflect that I did not call anyone short in this chamber. I am not in the business of name calling, and my simple statement was that there's no correlation between size and substance in reference to the documents, and I was specifically referring to the leader of government business being the one who did that. So let it be clear that I do not call people names in this chamber, and I was not calling anyone short or tall. Madam President, Mr. Deputy President, I think quite a lot has been said in response to the opposition, so some of what was said I will leave alone. But I just want to commend the leader of opposition business for finally admitting, in his own words, that the price of bread has increased because, quote, of the global inflation crisis. So, despite everything that the opposition has come to say today about this tax, I think they have clearly fixed the problem that they were trying to create by stating, in his own words, that the price of bread has increased because of the global inflation crisis. So, Mr. Deputy President, I don't think I have to say much more about that whole argument about what caused the price of bread. It was stated by the leader of opposition business in his own words. Again, like he said earlier about, was it Shanta King? The opposition doesn't like the Shanta King report. He said it, and then he goes on to say the price of bread is as a result of the global inflation crisis. So in summary, the opposition has the answer to all their arguments. They come, they make the argument, and then somewhere, somehow, something slips out of their mouth, the truth slips out of their mouth, and it is said. If you go back to Hansard, Mr. Deputy President, you will find that statement and that utterance there. So I think my task to rebut is very easy. The leader of opposition business said it himself. Just a couple of things before I close. With reference to the Digicel and all of those other references he was making, I think it's important to tell the public and the chamber that this reference he used, and I have the document. Thankfully, I always ask him to give it to me because he has a way of, and the document was particularly making particular reference to users of the Fiber 350. And you can go and check the percentage of St. Lucians who actually use that service. So they were painting the picture that everybody's going to suffer from this thing. They were very specific. And I don't want to be too technical about that. I just want to ask a question, Mr. Deputy President. Why are we here dealing with all this levy now? Why is it necessary for this government to have to put a levy on anything, particularly health and security? First of all, the Prime Minister made it very clear that health and security were priority. But I think the more important reason we are here is because, when you in a different role made the statement, Mr. Deputy President, that you believe that the 15% VAT should be returned to. I sat there and saw the opposition going crazy, tapping the table. The opposition is now realizing that the 15% VAT was fine. But it was the opposition that went to interfere in something that was good. I promise I'll be brief. They interfered in something that was not broken, trying to fix it. So now we have to go back and deal with all of this. But they are now very happy to hear a member of parliament say that the 15% VAT, which is a consumption VAT, which is the most efficient method of taxation, should have been or should be. So they are now against the 12.5% reduction. Mr. Deputy President, time solves a lot of problems. So once again, I heard something about dog eating vomit. I don't think it was parliamentary to say that, but some people are really eating up the vomit. And the creative ways that were mentioned, I just want to ask, are the creative ways the 1.5%, the 1.5 increase, the $1.50 increase, 60% on the gas tax? Is it the taxing, the idea of taxing charcoal? Is that what the creative ways were?
And pudding.
And black pudding, is that what we were supposed to be doing?
What time you were doing it?
And one more thing I want to say, Mr. Deputy. I will deliberately leave out some of the other things there I don't think is really worth our time to go and rebut. Mr. Deputy President, if you look at the opinions of St. Lucians, there's something called e-poll that's done on stations and local stations. St. Lucians were asked what they thought of the 2.5% levy. Ordinary St. Lucians on the streets. And I hope the opposition pays attention to these. And almost everyone who spoke indicated, on condition that it is used for what it was supposed to be, they support. They support. And that's who speaks, not me. Ordinary St. Lucians. They were very specific. I was wondering if all these people, why would they all, they always stated, once it is for the purpose it was supposed to be. They understand that once you're going to put a tax, there are going to be implications. And I'm not going to go down the road of, if it's going to raise the cost of living here and so on. There is always going to be some implication whenever there is a tax introduced. But the question is, are people willing to make that commitment and that sacrifice because they understand the benefit that they are going to reap? That is it. And I believe our government is convinced, and the people of St. Lucia are convinced, that they are prepared to make that commitment. They are prepared to do it because they believe that it's necessary. They have recognized the amount of wastage that has happened. They have recognized the fiscal situation. They know that health and national security are our major concerns. We have to raise money to be able to pay for the services and to pay for what we're going to offer the people of this country. And they are ready, together with this government, to make that contribution so that we can finance those things. So I'm not going to come here and try to defend whether it is going to increase the cost of this or the cost of that. That argument has been laid to rest. But I am convinced that this levy is achieving the objective that St. Lucians know is necessary. And that is why they support it. So having heard several other arguments, Mr. Deputy, I wish to end now in the interest of time and say that this is a justified amendment, and we look forward to working with St. Lucians to continue, if there is any other issue, that we can continue to fix with our taxation methods. I thank you, Mr.